Yeah, I reached out to my source via Kyrie.
What's your source say?
Nah, he told me
Are we live?
that is
We are.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about that later.
I got a few things to say about that before I go, by the way. I'm just giving you a heads up.
No, we'll be able to go into that. Yeah, we'll go into that. We're going to start with the main event, and then we're going to kind of slip into other things. So we'll let you guys.
Share it in the group chats.
We'll let you guys share your thoughts.
And the Astros just scored on Tapera. Love it.
Yeesh. Just keep on it.
I feel bad, Manny. We gotta watch out for you. You taking L's all day.
Settle down.
I'm a little worried for you. I'm wearing black and white for you in solidarity.
It wasn't.
I'm wearing the green for him, by the way. The green's for
It's a funeral. It's a funeral. That's what it is.
That's why the White Sox wore black.
I root for every team that wears white and black, bro.
No, you don't. The Yankees are blue. What are you talking about?
They wear black to me.
You colorblind.
Wear black. They're black to me, man.
No, they're not. That's navy. That's dark navy blue, bro. Come on, man. Stop it.
Well, if I was colorblind, I see it as black.
I think the correct term is midnight blue. I think that's what the Yankees wear.
Yes, midnight navy blue. I kind of think I know what I'm talking about with my team.
And aren't you a Rangers fan too? Isn't their team like blue and white?
There's no black.
But my heart,
there's no black.
My heart is black.
I actually think if they had a black alternate jersey, it would be fire though.
They have a dark navy blue that they have.
The Islanders do though. The Islanders have that black.
Oh God!
Nobody cares.
Elmont stand up, baby. Listen,
nobody cares about
season,
Gordon's
baby.
Fisherman.
Elmont stand up. The fact that my hometown has a home arena, there's nothing better than that. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Like I
don't disagree with you, but
I got the Barclays.
Also, are we live?
We are live. It's cool. Listen, Elmont stand up. Elmont stand up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Fan Zone. We are back to our 5 p.m. slot. We apologize that we were, mixing and matching the times for the last couple of weeks, but we wanted to still bring you the content. But family obligations obviously come up as well. But we are back to our 5 p.m. slot, and we have a lot to talk about today. But today is actually a monumental episode. I don't know why you let this happen, Carl, but we made it to 10 episodes. This is our 10th episode. Manny, congrats, brother. We made it to 10.
Shout out to y'all.
Listen,
that's the only highlight.
The original deal we signed. Listen, as I watch the shows, I say, maybe, can I give him 10 more? Should I give him 10 more episodes? It's like, there's a renewal process here at the Hip List. You know what I'm saying? Welcome Mirrors got renewed for like a year. I don't know how that happened because there's some
Mike, every 10 episodes, you got to keep
episodes.
the count. Every 10 episodes, we got to have Carl on.
That's right. We got to wait for the contract. We got to wait for the contract every 10 episodes. So we might be back next week. We'll see how today goes. But with that being said, we have a lot going on. A lot has happened over the last 24 hours, and it's pretty much flipped the script for us on what today's episode is going to look like. And with a lot of the stuff that's been going on, the social injustice from one of an ex-coaches of a team that Manny roots for. I apologize. Also, some issues that are going on in the NBA. And for that, we had to bring in two heavy hitters. And we had to bring in two amazing contributors. First and foremost, I'd like to welcome Greg Polius to the Smoke and Mirrors. Welcome, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Absolutely appreciate you having me back and saving the best for last on this one. The maestro,
I boo you.
as I like to call him. The
man's wearing green.
The man that is behind the scenes on every single thing that is brought out in the sports hit list streets. Mr. Carl Coulange, I actually get to finally welcome you on the show. Welcome, brother. How you doing?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. The green is here because the NBA season tips off on Tuesday. Basketball is back. We know what it is. We know the vibes. As much as I like football, I like baseball, but my heart is always with the round ball. So let's do it.
Sounds good. But with that being said,
I was like, wait, what?
Oh my goodness. Some people still haven't grown up, man. Some people need to grow up, man. Come on.
I mean,
the fan zone, man. Come on, man.
Dude, did you expect anything less?
Oh my God. Come on.
So
man.
With that, we're gonna move on to something a little more serious, and I'd like to bring my co-host, my main man, Manny Schefter, to the front of the congregation to be able to discuss some of the things that have been brought out over the last 24 hours with your now ex-head coach. What do you got to say about your boy John Gruden, man?
What's going on, y'all? I had to sleep on it, unfortunately. Woke up just seeing more news, checking out what he said in the emails. 650K. No, I had to think about this the whole time. Like all this stuff, 650,000 emails. And it's come to the conclusion that John Gruden is full of shit, a piece of shit. And honestly, I hope everything bad happens to him. I really don't care at this point. When we first signed up for this 10-year, 100 mil, I was livid. I was pissed. It was recorded. We have it on tape, most likely. Carl might have to go on the archives. I was the only one pissed off about this entire deal for him. And then now this just adds more fuel to the fire. Like, obviously, I'm pissed. I'm angry, and the fact that the team had to deal with this, this whole thing calling the commissioner Goodell, the F word. And it's like, you talked about Goodell and then you also talk about Michael Sam, but yet you have Carl Nassib, who's an openly gay player on your team and who's actually performing well, mind you. And then you say all this other stuff. You talk about DeMaurice Smith, is it, I believe?
The
NFLPA president. You say it, you talk about his lips with tires and everything, and it's like, are you serious right now? So not only are you disrespecting Black people, the Black community, you're also disrespecting the LGBTQ community. And then you also was against the whole women refs. So then you attack the Me Too movement. So it's like, you're literally 3 strikes, you're out. Like, you literally just screwed your entire career. But this is only just a stepping stone. He's the first one. There's going to be plenty of them. And I'm looking forward to seeing how many dominoes are going into effect and are going to fall down.
So, Greg, I know you originally wanted to join today because you wanted to laugh in Manny's face with the Raiders losing against the Bears. But then obviously this came out with John Gruden. And I want to hear from you, especially because you're a big proponent to a lot of the social injustice that goes on, especially in the sports world. And you are a very large voice with that. So I want to hear what you have to say after reading some of these, emails that came out.
So just kind of piggyback off what Manny said. First thing is, I'm not surprised. If we really are honest with ourselves,
thank you,
and talk about NFL culture, just look at the reaction to Colin Kaepernick back then. And to Colin, if I can go to a right-wing group and just post a picture of Colin Kaepernick, and it's just straight vitriol spewed, and the man hasn't played it down in like 4 or 5 years at this point, because it's a conservative-based sport. The guys who coach it, the guys who run it, are very conservative in their beliefs and their views, and they bring that into the sport. They don't like change, and when that change does come and they're confronted with it, how they speak behind and how they speak in the media is not how they speak behind closed doors, and that's what this press dump is going to be. John Gruden's the tip of the iceberg. Mm-hmm. There's going to be more heads to roll, and I do not want people to be shocked. So when people come out and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe he said that," just think about this. This is what Black people live with every day. This is every day, where you could be walking down the street and a woman clutches her purse. And you could be in a suit and a tie, but it still happens because of the fair, the complexion of your skin. I'm not saying that that's the whole purpose of this, but I'm saying that to say the groups that he marginalized, he's the type of person that doesn't care about anyone else as long as he gets what he wants. Mm-hmm. And that's how a lot of NFL owners and coaches are. Don't be surprised if you hear more names drop in the next few days, next few weeks.
Yep.
So, Carl, before I welcome you in on this topic, I wanted to just piggyback off of what Greg was saying, and you brought up a good point. You said, the African American culture and the feelings that you guys that culture has every day, right? Walking down the street, the systematic racism that goes on. Look at the LGBTQ community, right? Especially in a conservative sport like the NFL, where you, or most sports for that matter, where you don't hear anybody coming out as being proud to say that they're gay or lesbian, dependent upon the sport because of how they're feared it might be detrimental to their career. Michael Sam is the perfect example of that. He was afraid to come out at first because he didn't know if he would ever get picked by a team. And then to marginalize it, that John Gruden did by saying, oh, St. Louis just had to let that F word on the team so that they could have notoriety, and Goodell letting that happen just shows the closed-mindedness of this man. But I have to say, shame on Washington's football team too.
Dan Snyder's a snake.
The emails that came out with Bruce Allen going to islands with the cheerleading squad and
Costa
saying,
Rica.
okay, we're going to do pictures, and then we're going to do nude pictures and do topless pictures, and then sending them back and forth. This is what you guys are saying. This is the tip of the iceberg. But this is what shocks me during a Me Too movement, that this is only coming out now in 2021. Where was this 3 years ago at the beginning of the Me Too movement? How did this man even get a job and a second opportunity to come back to the Raiders when these emails were public? They were around. This is not the first time we're hearing about this with the Washington football team. So before I can say a lot more, but Carl, how do you feel about a lot of this coming out?
Go for it. No,
honestly, I want to hear from my contributors.
I'm not surprised, as Greg said, and he took the words out of my mouth. We're not surprised. We saw this with Donald Sterling. We saw this with Hulk Hogan in the NBA. We saw this with Hulk Hogan in the WWE when he made his racist comments. So I'm not surprised at it. I think everything has its timing. To answer your question about, where were these emails the last 10 years? Someone was ready to snitch. Someone was ready to talk. And everything happens for a reason. And I'm a firm believer. I don't believe in everything I see on TV, but it just, everything has its timing for things to come out. When someone wants something to get dropped, it's going to get dropped regardless. I don't think these celebrities are wise enough to realize, I think shout out to Paul Lawson. He made a great point. He goes, you shouldn't even be talking like that through a work email unless you want to get caught. Right. We sit here, we have dialogues, and we all have conversations that we don't want to go public. That's fair because everyone has the privacy, and we all are in group chats where we talk about certain things. But would we translate that to our work, right? Would you send that we're all professionals in our in our professions. Would we send those kind of emails and language to coworkers? Not in our personal text messaging, but a work email. I think for me, that's the biggest question I have. Is it's okay. He feels like that. That's fine because that's who he is, right? It's one thing if you have that conversation with someone, say you're having that in the privacy of your own home, or you're having that conversation at the bar, or you're having it through text messaging. But then when you start having it through a work, where's the professionalism for the people that you work with? And that goes to show me as a grown adult that you really don't care. You really don't give a shit. So you're at your job talking about all these things and understanding and knowing the push that the NFL is trying to do and knowing what's around you, you really don't care. So for me, it's a matter of the professionalism that you have. You're supposed to have some form of professionalism at your job. And for you to sit there and talk like that is completely disrespectful, especially about your boss. Who is going to sit here and talk about their boss in a work email? Honestly,
do it about you all the time.
Right. Clearly, I'm sure those emails are going to be leaked soon enough, right? Clearly, right? Man. Again, I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't said some fucked up shit about my boss, to someone in a conversation. But would I be ballsy enough to send it in an email on the job? Come on, man. We have to do better. And I think, and again, Greg, I'm not surprised at it, and it's going to keep happening. Part of this culture is of us trying to eliminate, people who feel this way. It won't happen because, as I've said to my students, and now that I said to you guys before, it's one of those things that's passed down, and we can't break that tradition. If you're raised like that in your home, and people talk like that in your home, and they're taught to hate, it's always going to be taught. So it's generational things that's passed down. So John Gruden probably got it from his dad, who got it from his dad, who got it from his dad, and so forth and so forth. So until that is broken in the home, we're going to continue having these conversations no matter what time of year we're in.
Can I interject real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Greg.
I'm sorry. Just as far as the investigation goes, it started coming out now because for the first time, the NFL is actually taking some accountability here. in a long time, and actually do not just kind of giving a smooth pass over it and saying, oh, we looked into it, but nothing's come of it. They're actually looking into these things. I'm not going to say good on the NFL because this is really late for them, but it's about time. I'll say that. Also, John Gruden felt he was above the law, basically, to Carl. He really didn't care.
Right.
Because that's the only way you can speak like that.
Yeah, but to add to that, the only thing is like him resigning is a cop-out. And the fact that
absolutely.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
And the fact that the owner,
right.
and the fact that the owner knew about it and the owner saw it and didn't do anything about it, like that goes to show, like, bro, like, come on. Like, for me, resigning is a cop-out. Like, you clearly knew the smoke was coming, you didn't want it, and it's a cop-out. You should be a man and take your L and basically get punished and basically get fired. But he didn't allow that for that to happen because he wants to step down because he didn't want to bring attention to the team. That's bullshit.
I'll tell you. Well, he already brought attention to the team. I'll tell you how it happened. John, the jig is up. Okay. And if you don't resign, we're gonna have to fire you. That's how that went down. Instead of saying, John,
he gave him a chance.
Exactly. Instead of saying,
but
not everybody gets that chance. Though. You see how that happens? Not everybody gets that chance.
What's Mullen's favorite quote? He has the complexion for the protection from the collection.
Yeah.
I hope I got that right, Mullen.
Shame on the owner though, because you don't give somebody that chance to resign and to step down. You say you out. You need to show that you're building a culture. What you're doing is you're essentially sweeping it under the rug by saying you let him resign. You're going to move on. You're going to get another coach. And then what? You're going to have sensitivity training? No, get him out of there. You find out about this. You fire him on the spot. You say there's no room in our organization for this type of behavior. I support all of my players, whether they're LGBTQ, whether they're African-American, whether they're standing up or sitting down for the national anthem. I support who's on my bench every single day. And the coach obviously wasn't supporting that, wasn't supporting the fans. So you kick them to the curb. You kick them to the curb, you throw a can and you go shake it and make your money that way because you're not getting another dollar out of me. They didn't do that, and it's a cop out by the Raiders. I'm sorry, Manny. I know it's your team, but I don't appreciate.
I welcome all the slander, man.
I don't appreciate.
I welcome all the slander.
Yeah,
and I even thought about this as well. If Al Davis was alive when this was happening, John Gruden would have been gone a long time ago.
Hell yeah!
Right off the bat.
Someone in the comments just said. Well, someone in the comments just said. Shout out to Tim. He said, if you fire him, then you're on the hook for the full contract. So maybe it's a money thing where you have to pay him out.
But who's to say they're not giving him a certain
amount? That's 60. He got 6 years left. So that's pretty much basically 60 mil. And
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at it. I'm not surprised.
You don't think someone like John Gruden, who thinks he's above the law, doesn't have something in his contract that if he resigns, he's still getting a certain amount of money? So I would love to see I wouldn't be shocked, but I would love to see the details of the contract. Yeah, I would too. Because if he resigns, he's still leaving with the money.
Time to do some research.
Yeah, it's just bad. But then I feel like now, like, what are the players gonna do in the locker room? Like we don't know how these. I think they're happy, honestly. I mean, yeah, now that they fired him or whatever, but I know based on their play this week. I mean, you play against your former team. I mean, your former teammate Khalil Mack, and you get smoked 20-9. So shout out to the Bears. They. I just want you to know because of that game, I traded Derek Carr in fantasy. By all means, go ahead. I appreciate. I prefer everybody to hate on the Raiders than actually root for them.
By the way, I'll be the lone wolf. I saw a meme today, and shout out. I saw it in the Sports Illustrated. I don't know who put it up. I saw it quickly when I was looking on Facebook, and it said Antonio Brown must be one of the happiest men alive right now because the Steelers stink, and John Gruden's gone. So he must be one of the happiest men alive right now, which is vindicated. Which is true. Gotta give flowers to Anthony Mullen on that. Even though I'm still pissed off at AB, I don't care. That's just me being bitter. So let me ask you guys, what do you think is the next steps? Right. So you see John Gruden's gone, but we know this is only the tip of the iceberg. Now, do you think the NFL steps in and tries to get Dan Snyder out as an owner because of what's coming up with the Washington football team? Do you see other coaches possibly something coming out on them or any analysis with emails that have been sent out over the years now that they're doing a search into this. What do you see next that NFL can show? I'm building on this culture, because essentially they took a step back, and I'm sorry, man, to cut you off, but they took a step back by showing this, because now this marginalizes a lot of the social injustice they were going against for a couple of years now. They were supporting in some ways or another the Black Lives Matter movement. They were supporting the LGBT, sort of. They weren't finding them anymore. They weren't finding.
They gave him $5. Be like, here's our donation.
So
That's
here's
pretty much
what
what they did.
and this is what a lot of corporate organizations, not just the NFL, support doesn't just mean you go, write Black Lives Matter on your in your end zone or on the street outside the stadium. That's not real support. That's faux support. All right. Real support is getting down in the ground with the activists and seeing how you can change, make systemic change in the community. And that's what they're not doing. They're saving face that for people who are gonna be like, oh, look, they support it, and then they go about their business everyday life because it doesn't affect them directly.
So I could be just, closed-minded to this just because of what I'm seeing on the media or what I'm seeing in pictures and videos. But aren't certain teams technically stepping out with these activists and stepping out with some of these protests? Because as I've seen, there are certain players that are going out. Are you saying it's because the NFL as an organization are not doing it? It's certain players? Okay.
It's the NFL as an organization. The players are free to do whatever they want on their own.
Okay, that makes sense.
You'll never see the NFL come out and say these things because of the point I made earlier about the owners and their conservative nature.
Right, yeah.
That's just not what they're about. And we have to call a spade a spade. These are owners that avidly support Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And if he ran, they would probably still support him again.
Woody Johnson was an ambassador for him.
Exactly my point, So it's a very conservative based, tight knit, good old boys club.
Yeah, I agree. I think from the media perspective, I always look at, for me, it's about your language, right? When we watch a lot of these pre-shows, and I'm listening for every word and wording, and what's in your script, because that's the key is how you say what's your delivery and what you talk about. One of my favorite shows on NBA is NBA on TNT, right, with the Inside Crew. If you look at Ernie Johnson and his words and his verbiage, you also look at the shows that they produce. Is the NFL producing shows that have to deal with social issues? No, they're not. Right. So I think that's a big part of it is like, yes, like Mike said, is the media, who are your producers? Who's producing content to show? Like who's having to sit down during Martin Luther King Day? Who's having to sit down to go visit Tennessee or visit landmarks or different things to raise awareness? I don't know if the NFL is really doing that because they don't necessarily have to, because at the end of the day, people still watch their product. So for them, there's no if the players aren't really pushing for it, like the players do in the NBA, and the players are not pushing for certain things, they're not going to do it. So I think that's the part of it too, is like, do the players necessarily care to have these conversations and have these raising awareness on big platforms, or do they just care about their checks? Because at the end of the day, we all know the NFL is king, as we say, right? So is it a plight for them to sit here and do this, or is it going to be, a detriment to them and their product? And like Greg said, like the old boys club, how many viewership will they lose if they do start doing that?
It's not necessarily the NFL made an example out of Cap and Eric Reed, even though Eric Reed got his job back but he still doesn't have a job now. So again, they use that to say, hey, you can support whatever you want outside, but the minute you step on field and you support these causes, we don't want anything to do with you.
So I will say it is a shame because the NFL has the biggest voice, but the smallest hammer when it comes to these type of injustice. I feel like the MLB, other sports, they take such an initiative to step forward. NFL, I think
NBA is at the forefront. Definitely,
but I think
NBA
MLB
at the forefront.
does more than the NFL.
I think it's close because that's another good old boys club there. But what I will say, though, the MLB does a lot more in terms of the community and building up players through the MLB RBI program from inner cities to get on a pipeline and a path to play high-level baseball. That I can say they do. Like the Mets do a lot of work in Brooklyn and Queens, and I could speak to that. I'm sure the Yankees do something in the Bronx, but in that sense, yes, they can speak to it. But in terms of the league as a whole, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, again, for me, from my perspective, it's the audience. At the end of the day, do you want to risk losing your audience because people will turn it off? Because, like, again, Greg knows this. Working at a SJB when I worked there, right, and that was during the hype of the Colin Kaepernick. How many times I walk down the hall and I hear different faculty members like, I'm not watching that shit no more until they're kneeling. You see what I'm saying? So you're basically catering to a fan base that are literally telling you like, okay, we're not going to watch your product if you continue to do this. And people don't like stuff being shoved down their throats. So as long as the NFL continues to try to push that, they're going to lose viewership. Now, I'm not saying it's going to kill I'm not saying they're going to lose a great amount, but they don't want to lose those viewers, loyal viewers.
So Manny, we're gonna shift sports just for a second because I want to be conscious of our contributors' time. I know they have other things that they got to do tonight.
I got to give out some Fs. I've been giving them out all day.
Give them a bunch of.
I was grading last night. I was just like, oh my god,
it's terrible, bro.
Were you Henny Greg when you were grading?
Nah. I should have been, honestly, because some of that work was awful.
Listen, I literally had a question that said, what does HBO stand for? And the kid left it blank. And I'm sitting here like, listen, do we not understand and process what this means? And it's don't get me started, please.
Man,
please
listen, we could trade stories, bro.
I'm here for it.
Do an episode just on stories. Cool.
This is mind-boggling.
So, obviously, Manny, for you, and I'm not throwing L's at you.
It's a rough day.
Throw the L's at Manny because Manny always coming with the hands.
There's no pity for Manny.
No.
Manny,
first off, can I say something? First off, it's my show. Shut up. What I wanted to say was, I welcome all the slander. I hold my L's. I'll take my L's. But every single one of you in the comments who's viewing and stuff, you all catching their hands. I'm telling you right now. Every single one of you. I don't care. I'm still
tiny manos.
Because I'm
tiny
here.
Manos.
First off, let me show you these hands. All right. Next time I see you. Mama Polius, if you watching, I got your son. Don't worry.
She is watching. But the parentals are watching, both of them. So if you pull up on me, they're gonna pull up on you.
Oh no, I got him with a nice bottle of wine and some rum punch, probably. You know how it is. Come on.
He knows the vibe.
Obviously, John Gruden was big news last night, but then today we wake up and we see a message from the Brooklyn Nets organization that states that Kyrie Irving.
Look at the smirk on Carl's face.
He's drinking. He think he's
will not participate in practice or in games until he is a full participant, which means until he is vaccinated. So I am going to sit back for a second, and Manny, the floor is yours.
Damn. Another one. That's 2 L's already. White Sox about to get my third L. I'm on a roll, baby.
Man, you might have to take the rest of the day off, bro.
I might have to log off and switch up my counter name, not Manny Oli. Anyways, pretty much, I'm always gonna be advocating and defend Kyrie as much as I can. Shout out to whoever posted the meme of defending Kyrie is probably one of the hardest jobs in the world. In the flat earth world, you can say. But obviously I'm upset. I'm a little frustrated. Again, I've stated before that, if you're not vaccinated, that's your choice at the end of the day. But if we respect your decision not to get vaccinated, you need to respect our decision for not inviting you to certain things or even coming to do your job. 96% of the NBA is vaccinated, right? Especially the main stars, the bigger stars. Andrew Wiggins was one of the people that was opposed to it. Tried to use the religious exempt. Didn't work. So he ends up getting vaccinated. Yeah,
that's what it was.
Exactly. And I even discussed this with my cousin. Not my cousin, my friend, and we were talking about it. I was like, "How long do you think he holds out before getting vaccinated?" And it's like,
So
2 years. I got him with a nice bottle of wine and some rum punch, probably. You know how it is. And I even discussed this with my cousin. We were talking about it. I was like, how long do you think he holds out before getting vaccinated? And it's like, You go a whole week is what? 43 games he misses. Because don't forget, 1 in Golden State and 2 in Toronto, where you can't play if you're not vaccinated. And apparently, you times 43 times what 380,000. You're looking at about 17.6 million. You're missing out. Mind you, we still haven't done an extension for him, which is supposed to be roughly around 180. Do you really think he's going to get that money? No, he's not, unless he's vaccinated. So, Kyrie, keep doing what you got to do. That's your choice. At the end of the day, you're losing the money, not me. So, I mean, I'm probably going to lose out on the chance to see my team finally win a chip. That's pretty much the only significance there. But at the end of the day, shout out to the Brooklyn Nets for, Sean Marks and that whole organization for, just giving him an ultimatum. It's his choice. They respect his choice, but again, he got to respect their decision. Exactly. He has to respect their decision as well as while they respect his decision. So at the end of the day, Kyrie, is up to you, my man. And I think apparently I've been reading up, he might be doing a press conference tomorrow or very soon. I guess he's gonna.
But is he gonna get Johnson and Johnson at the press conference?
I don't know. I don't know who put up the meme with the fake arm where Kyrie gets the shot and then he takes out the fake arm and he's like, "Yo, he's out." So that's my take on it.
Greg, how do you feel about this, brother?
As you guys know, I was kind of just like he's not gonna get traded. I still think he's gonna end up getting vaccinated at some point. And this is just pure speculation on my part. It's like Manny said, he's going to be missing, however many games. But I just want to shout out Ziggy in the comments. He's going the way of Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard set the path to miss all these games. So he's just following suit. That's all. So he's doing Kawhi. Right here. But on a serious tip, like Manny said, it's his choice. I applaud the Nets for doing this, actually, because they're saying you're not going to take the organization hostage. You don't play. You don't get vaccinated. Don't come play. And it is what it is, which is why I think ultimately at some point he's going to get vaccinated, because the worry is, what is he going to do to the locker room if he doesn't show up, the entire season and say they win a chip without him? Because it is possible. It is possible. Even though Manny, I'm holding you to that. You wrote them off immediately. I am holding you to that.
I mean, you could.
Carl,
it helps.
Carl, the Celtics aren't going anywhere, so fix your face. Okay? Fix your face.
I mean, we still can sweep out the Celtics. That I know that for a fact. Okay. We can still sweep them out.
Right.
I'm not
I don't even know
why
Carl giving me the screw face. Brooklyn Nets.
Because you said that they could still win the championship without Kyrie.
It's still possible. Is it likely? No.
It's possible.
It's still possible. All right, you guys are gonna have to worry about being a 6th seed.
More like 8th.
I'm cool on my team.
I even had the Knicks ahead of the Celtics,
so I'm good.
So Carl,
I'm fine.
as a Celtics aficionado, and, having Kyrie,
president of the Celtic Nation New York division, yes,
and Kyrie Haters Club.
I didn't know that was a club, and I guess you're the only member, but that's cool.
No,
so with that being said, how do you feel about this whole Kyrie drama, being an ex-player from the Celtics, being on the Nets now, the Nets being one of your top competitors and contenders, possibly moving you out of it?
Why are you giving the Celtics that much credit?
Listen,
I have to. He's a contributor.
Clearly you don't know who's on my team, number one. Number two, I'm just happy that my team doesn't have to deal with it, because clearly, people are going to say I'm a Kyrie hater, but again, where has Kyrie went that we haven't seen there's a specific issue or there's a problem? That's number one. Mm-hmm. So there's always a problem when it comes to Kyrie. And again, he's entitled to not play or not get vaccinated, but people believe he's going to get vaccinated. My question is, what's changing from now, right, when the season's about to start, to is he going to realize? That's the question I have, is what's the determining factor for him to say, okay, I'm not going to start my job right now, and then 25 games in, okay, I'm going to get vaccinated now. So it's what's the determining factor into him changing his decision?
The Nets going 10-15, and
plus he just
I don't like to me, that's my biggest issue. And again, as I asked Greg 2 weeks ago, and I was trying to talk to him about the chat, I'm happy to see, but again, what now? So originally, like 2 weeks ago, we said he was going to play the home games and the Nets would still be okay. But now he's not playing any games at all. So what do you do now in the team? Like, so who's your starting point guard?
You play without him. You can't trade him now, and you're not going to get the correct.
So you play,
in
but
return.
again, but what's the essence of having a third star? Again, as a GM, like try to put our GM hats on. You have your third best player is not playing. What do? Do you just let him not play? You play without him and just say, okay, fine, or not realize that you may be able to get something in return because you're saying the Nets can't get the value in return. But guess what? They have no value with him not playing at all. So wouldn't you be better off getting something in return to have at least something? Like
there's an if, Carl. There's in sports.
There is no ifs.
Say we do
shirt.
Kyrie. Say we do trade Kyrie and he threatens to retire. I've seen posts about that.
That's fine, but that's his decision.
But the thing is, what happens if he retires before the trade is even made? Or finally,
that's his decision.
So how does that help us?
Again, you guys have to think as an owner. So you guys are okay with knowing that your third best player is saying, you know what, I'll let you know when I want to play. And basically you're running James Harden and Kevin Durant during all season into the ground to play more minutes to make up for him not playing when you can get other players to play that. That's basically what we're saying.
Right now, currently, Carl, the only owner that I know of right now is I'm the owner of L's. Currently, right?
No, but I'm just
saying. The only thing I'm winning right
now
is fantasy football.
I'm just saying. Like again, for me,
hold on.
Again, it's the same thing as this. As again, let's try to use it as the hit list, right? Right now, Greg says, "I don't want to participate on Smoke and Mirrors." Am I going to sit here and say, "Man, he's not going to participate"? Am I going to wait for him to come back and do a 2-man show? No, my mind is thinking it's a 3-man. Right, but again, in my mind, I'm thinking again, when someone is out, I have to find some form. I don't want to say replacement, but something to fill in that spot. He's not playing. You see, so you're basically running the risk. And last year the Nets got hurt, and you're running that risk of James Harden playing more minutes. He's older now, and Kevin Durant playing more minutes that they're older now. That's all I'm saying.
Carl, I want you to know that was a god-awful example. I expect so much better from you.
That's fine. You can say softball, whatever you want to say, but I'm sticking to that point.
There's a component that you're missing in all of this. Let me ask you a question, Carl. How many games did James Harden play last year?
I don't know. That's a maybe question because I don't follow the Nets like that to know how many games he played. I could probably tell you.
James Harden played 36 games for the Nets, started 35 of them, and the Nets still somehow, some way, shape, or form, made it deep into the playoffs without him playing the majority of their games.
And I have a counter to that, but go ahead.
Now, it's the same way, say Kyrie doesn't play 43 games to start the season, just 43 in general. That we just gonna go with that number. It's like him being injured. He still has to come back and get acclimated with his players. It's the same thing. You're not even accounting for that. You're just saying because it's the vaccination situation, you're treating it differently. When in actuality, it's just like him being injured and being off. Yeah, it's some Kawhi. Again, it's Kawhi vacation days. I get it. However,
he's not injured. But
it's outside factors. This is not. It's fine. Not. And I told you, the Nets have every right.
But you know what? It's not like an injury. I'll wait till he comes back. Hopefully he comes back.
So I'm going to jump in. I
got a great point. Please come back. Please come back, Greg. I got a great point to counter that. It's like an injury.
I'm going to shout out Ziggy for a second because he said COVID is screwing everything up, and he is. He's right. You know, COVID is screwing everything up, and this is the new normalcy. And I hate saying the new normalcy because what was really normal before that. But my take on this and my feelings on this it goes further than just sports. I said this last week in regards to nurses and teachers losing their job because of their choice not to get a vaccination, right? Because of a mandate. When Kyrie decided he didn't want to get the vaccination, it was like, okay, we'll still work around you. Now, the Nets have turned around and said he can't play at all until he gets vaccinated. But he still has a shot. There's nurses and teachers out there that won't get their jobs back even if they decide to get the vaccination. That is my problem with it. And I feel like personally, and I'm not a Nets fan, I'm a Knicks fan, but I'm not talking as a fan right now. I'm talking about as an outsider, just looking at the media perspective and looking at the sport perspective. Kyrie has been a headache for the last 2 years. Last year, it was his mental health awareness and taking time off. And I will never And before people start ripping into me in the comments, I am not going to turn around and say that I will never say that people can't take time off because of mental health awareness. Everybody needs to be at a mental health that is good for them. But with that being said, that doesn't mean you keep your team hanging, not knowing where you are for weeks on end because you're trying to find yourself. You work with your organization to be able to show that you are a team player. Now you're also showing, as Carl has said, you're not a team player because you're putting more minutes on KD. You're putting more minutes on Harden. Harden was injured last year. He shouldn't even have been playing in the playoffs and had to play in Game 7 to hope you had a shot. I have a lot of problems with this. And then to turn around and say, well, if you trade me, I'll retire. You know what? You're a big baby. And the biggest L goes to Kyrie. It doesn't go to you, Manny. It goes to Kyrie for the way he's acted towards this. There is being an activist. There's being a person that believes in what they believe in. And there's a person that is doing it because there's a media presence around him. And I feel he is divaing some of this a little.
I'm waiting for Greg to come back because I got a question. Please come back. I'm just waiting for him to come back.
I'm putting that out there, Manny. What do you have to say?
I mean, again, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I mean, I'm still going to defend Kyrie, but obviously it's still frustrating as a fan. If I take my bias hat aside, I would say you understand where it's like, damn. Like if I wasn't a Nets fan, I would have been like, damn, man. Like, y'all really, damn, Kyrie, like, what's up? Like, I mean, do your research. I mean, everybody apparently has done their research and stuff like that at the end of the day. So if they've done their research and they feel like it's okay, cool. But I've also said this, where it's like, let's say Kyrie does, again, let's say Kyrie does get vaccinated, but let's say he somehow gets a reaction to it where he reacts very different. His body reacts differently. And it kind of affects him in some way, shape, or form. I mean, obviously, there are a small percentage of people that reacted differently to the vaccine. But again, everybody takes care of their own body. That's on them at the end of the day. So again, let's say Kyrie gets sick for a long period of time. And, maybe somehow it gets even worse than it's supposed to. Who do we blame for that? Do we blame each other? Do we say, hey, we all forced him to get it? The organization, the NBA, or the players, or the fans, or the family members.
No, there's no force. Like I said, there's no force on my end. There's no force.
I'm saying, but if he feels like, oh, everybody forced me to do it because everybody else did it. You understand that? Because we're over here talking about it, correct? So again, let's say he announces tomorrow, hey, I'm getting vaccinated. Okay, yay, everybody gonna be cheering. But guess what? The media is somehow still gonna be questioning why it took you so long to get vaccinated. They're gonna ask all those questions.
Hold on. In defense of, and this is mark this down on Fan Zone, Greg is gonna defend the media. Okay.
Oh
Kyrie.
yeah.
Carl's got the biggest grin. Hold on, Carl. Keep that grin. I got to take a picture of that.
Kyrie does himself no favors when it comes to the he puts him, and don't get me wrong, I have cape for Kyrie in certain instances, but like Mike said, there are too many instances where he's a weird guy. We can admit that. Like, he's quirky. I get it. He's quirky. But he also puts himself in these predicaments where it becomes a burden more so than just a passing situation on the team.
So, Greg, let me ask you this question. You said what he's doing right now is similar to him being injured, right? Is that what you said?
Well, him sitting out. I'm saying it's the equivalent, like, say he misses games. And practice, it's like him being injured. Yes. Right.
Yeah. But then don't you know when a player's coming back from injury and how their time will be?
No, not all the time. No, you don't.
Well, for the most part, you do though.
No,
right?
no.
Yes, you do.
It depends.
Yes, you do.
It depends on the injury. It's monitored. It's week by week. Carl, trust me, you don't play fantasy.
Yes,
I do. Live this week by week.
I understand.
Wait, you play fantasy this whole time?
No, I don't play fantasy. I'm kidding. I don't. What I'm saying though is I've covering athletes. They give you a timeable for return. They'll be like, oh, he'll be out.
It depends on the injury.
Right. It depends. But again, the fact that he's not injured, it just makes, like I said, Kyrie's going to do what's best for him. I'm not telling him to go out here and get vaccinated. I would never tell somebody to do something they don't feel comfortable with. I'm seeing it from a team perspective. What do I do? Am I really going to sit here and wait all this time in hopes and pray that he comes back? or am I going to try to put the best product out there? And right now, getting anything in return for Kyrie is a lot better than him not playing. That's facts. You can't sit here and tell me that's not facts.
I got homework for you to do, Carl. All right. I want you to put your capologist hat on like Eric Siegel does like every other day.
Ooh. Oh my God.
And I want you to come back with a trade for the Brooklyn Nets for Kyrie Irving that will match in money and talent or close to it, including draft picks. Feel free. But yeah, that's what I want you to do. That will help them win the championship.
Jay, hold on. Jay Will in the comments. I just saw something he posted. He was like, the only trade that would make sense would be Denver. If Denver's willing to part ways and he can go play there if he wants to be Denver. But I'd really have to find the time to do it. But maybe I will, because I firmly believe you can get back in return something that's better than a player not playing that you don't know when he's coming back. That's what I'm saying to myself as an owner. I'm basically held hostage now. I'm sitting here waiting like, man, I hope he comes back. What do I do?
Carl, you were waiting to say something to Greg before he got cut off.
No, that's what I was willing to say. That was asking about the practice question. Yeah, but again, waiting.
Oh, if that was you cooking, there was no seasoning in that, bro.
Oh my, come on, really? No, I can't cook. Let's not go there. No,
I gotta jump in for a second. Because Rick put in the comments, he said, we could play the F game both ways, Manny. Let's say he doesn't and catches COVID and dies, God forbid. That's why at the end of the day, it's up to everyone to make their own decision and live with the consequences of that decision, period. That's why I said I give a lot of credit to what Ziggy said about COVID has changed the script on everything.
Absolutely.
This is the new norm. This is the new norm because we are all mandated to get this vaccine for our livelihood. We can't live without a vaccine thinking that's going to save us when that could still be detrimental to us. But then on the same side, we could not get COVID. This is unfortunately the life we live in. As a parent,
I'm sorry. I wasn't laughing at you. Keep going. I wasn't laughing at the comment section. So keep going.
Fucking raisins, potato salad. What is that?
It was to Carl about my cooking joke.
Oh, so damn. I say it this way. I say it this way that unfortunately, because of our government, and I'm not going one way or the other with
Eddie, I got you, yo. I got you, Eddie. I got you.
This is what our lives have come to. So I agree with you, Rick. You have to go with the consequences of your decisions. But what we're saying in the sports world, that these consequences of his decision are more on an organization. Because it's not just him and his feelings. Now it's on the whole team because the chemistry of the team, you're supposed to have your big three, right? Now you got your big two and a fill-in until Kyrie comes back, if he comes back, right? And who knows? Because remember, the season starts next Tuesday. If he doesn't get it this week, he's already going to be out for at least 10 games.
Well, you already know he's not getting it this week because why would the Nets come out and say this a week before the season starts that he's not going to play?
Unless it's a media circus and then he goes and does it. And
we don't know. Wait, we don't know because the Nets could be just getting in front and just saying, hey, we don't want to take any more questions because the way they had it before, it was kind of confusing. Let's be honest. When he could practice because the practice facility was considered an office building.
It was a private office.
Like that was kind of confusing. So just come out and say, and cut all confusion. He can't play until he does what he needs to do. Period.
Sorry, Peter. Oh, go ahead. Finish. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, and that's just basically what I think the Nets brass was doing.
Peter, the reason why they're killing me like this, it's okay because as the EP and as the producer of the show, self-deprecate. Listen. As the tribal chief and as the head of the table, I have to take the L's in order to sell my product. So if I have to take one for the team and be the butt of the joke to sell my, if I have to be the butt of the joke in order to sell my product, I am willing to do whatever.
You so full of shit
for the ratings. We know this. I will sell my soul.
You didn't come on here expecting to take L's. You came on here with that
sell my soul to the devil himself in order to get my product ratings. I will sell my soul to the devil. People know I'll do anything for ratings. And these guys are in the chats. I'll come up with an idea and they're like, anything for ratings. You know that Dave Chappelle meme when he's sitting like this, like looking like the crackhead? That's me for ratings. So that means I'll do anything for my product to get. So if I have to be on the low level, they're going to make fun of my cooking, I will do it.
No.
That's good
Call.
Yo, Greg, you need a Greg, Carl need a hug. You need a hug. You need a hug.
He definitely
Seriously,
does.
like, this made a whole turn.
Yo.
You need a whole.
To have like a seance.
That's
you
the
need
tribal
more of a hug
chief.
than I do.
Holy
That's
moly.
called booking.
Man.
That's called booking. I am the butt of the joke for my ratings. It's booking. It's great TV.
I just want to say shout out to Manny and Mike for this booking because I didn't know Carl was coming on.
Hey,
And
man.
I was only supposed to be on for 20 minutes, but everything flowed. And plus, I got cut off when I was roasting Carl, so I needed to come back.
Nah, we
Well, listen,
appreciate you guys joining on
Absolutely,
anytime.
we
And,
do.
shout out to the comment. Shout out to the comment section as well.
Yeah,
to every
comment
single
section on
person
fire.
that's
Shout
giving
out to
their
y'all.
oh, by all means, greatly appreciate it. And again, it's the fan zone, so we got the fans speaking on their perspective. So by all means, we appreciate all the inputs. Everybody made some valid points, as well as the comment section. Shout out to Rick, Ziggy, and the other fellas that are there. I can't really read the comments. Sorry, I'm on Zoom. So,
It's all right.
but
Shout
wait,
out
quick,
Kawhi.
Greg.
Yeah.
What's the score? Did my team catch that out?
I
already?
think your team is done, bro.
What's the score, man? Don't tell
7-1.
me.
It's 7-1, 7-1 top 8.
Eddie has breaking news. What's the breaking news? Hurry up, Eddie. I gotta go.
Oh God, he's gonna say some dumb
No,
stuff.
it's gonna be the breaking news is Manny's getting another L because White Sox are gonna lose.
Yeah,
White
Yeah,
Sox
there you
are about
go.
to wave the white flag.
No, I knew it.
never.
Listen,
We're gonna
Carl
score 8
and
runs
Greg.
and come right back. Walk off.
Carl and Greg, we appreciate you guys being on. I know we kept you on a lot longer, but you are always welcome. You guys now have the key, so the landlord will always let you in. You guys
Wait.
are always welcome. Go ahead,
Before
man.
they go, they had to give their hands of the week. They have to join in on this.
I
And
like
no
it.
matter what, in every episode, you have to give
like it.
who are you giving your hands of the week to?
All right. Well, mine is
Oh.
football related. It goes to the field goal kickers, man. Listen, listen, man. Listen, I'm not the biggest football fan out there.
Here we
I'm
go,
watching
Carl.
over the weekend. I'm sitting here like, what is going on with these kickers? Like this is the worst field goal kicking I've seen in my life.
Now imagine if you
absolutely-
play fantasy football.
This is
Oh my
ridiculous.
God.
How many games were caused because of field goal kickers out here, man? Come on,
The
like
Packers game,
makes-
5 missed field goals in a row.
And the best
Packers
part
game.
is the kicker started celebrating like he made it, and then realized he didn't make it. I like to me like that's who gets these hands for this week. Again, completely atrocious, and yeah, those are my hands.
Okay.
Let me see. I think my hands of the week. I'm gonna have to go to the NFL. NFL for literally sitting on their hands for 7 years, knowing this was out there. So that's who my hands of the week go to. Side note: my hands. I don't have tiny manos. I have man hands.
Yeah. Settle down right now. Mount Police, don't watch the rest of this. I'm about to say some wrecking stuff here. I had to hit me
I
with the
appreciate
Thanos chancla.
Let me ask before you both leave, and we're gonna have you on during the the middle of the season and everything. But what are some beginning topics for the NBA season? What are you guys looking forward to seeing besides the whole Kyrie drama?
Oh, I mean, for me, clearly it's the Flakers with a Brody. I'm intrigued to see, does Brody change his game to fit LeBron's game? I mean, clearly anyone who plays with LeBron, they play better. So Brody's always been a question mark, and people are ready to label Brody as a stat patter and all this and can this resignate his career? And clearly and now Ben Simmons is going back to Philly. So
I think
mean,
you meant resurrect. You said resignate. Damn, son.
Sorry.
You're catching more else than man.
Sorry. Resurrect. Yes.
By all means,
Resurrect.
Carl,
I'm
keep
sorry.
taking more L's than me, please.
No,
I
never
appreciate
that.
it.
Thank you for that correction. So to me,
Anytime.
those are the two that stand out to me, and seeing what happens with Ben Simmons and Russell Westbrook.
Greg, what do you got?
For me, it's kind of to see one, how Klay Thompson comes back. I think
That's a good one, yeah.
I think how Klay Thompson comes back to fit in with those guys. And another thing, there's some really young, talented teams. I want to see how they fare. Rockets. Shout out to Jordan Eugene, even though he pops up like a groundhog every 6 months.
Oh God.
But his Rockets are very young and very talented, so I'm very interested to see what they have going on. And shout out to John Morant and my Grizzlies as well.
Oh, and of course my team too. I'm looking to see how my team does. You know, I always.
I mean, y'all gonna get eliminated first round, so it don't matter.
It's baby steps. We got a new coach. We got some young prospects on the team. You know, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown leading the way, the best duo in the East. You know how it is. So yeah, we here.
What about you, Mike?
Go ahead, Manny. What do
you
think?
got to speak. No, you got to speak on your NBA.
My NBA? I want to see what my Knicks team can do, man. We got some veterans in there that can make some noise still. I want to see how Rose plays. I want to see how Kemba Walker, solidifies that team a little more. I still think we make the playoffs. We make some noise, and we beating those Celtics every single game, whether it's in Boston.
Wait, to Pete, nobody cares. I care about the Celtics. The head of the table, I care. I watch all their games, so I care. You damn right I do. That's my team.
I can kick them out at any time, guys.
So respectfully, shut up and watch your mouth, all right? At least my players are playing. My players are playing, so we don't have a problem to play, all right? Kyrie's sitting there, and you're banking on Kevin Durant and James Harden, who has a bad hamstring, to lead you to a championship. At least my players are playing, so watch your mouth about who cares.
And they're still not better than the Nets.
Get out of here with that nonsense.
Oh, my God.
About to start calling myself Manny Sasson. It's getting spicy over here.
No, it's not spicy. It's the truth, man. People say, hey, who cares about my team? Jason Tatum, young budding superstar.
Are you guys throwing Tatum a farewell tour?
What?
Said, are you throwing Tatum a farewell tour?
What does that mean? I don't understand the question.
It's his last year.
He's going to the Lakers.
Yeah, it's his last year.
He's going to the Lakers.
First of all, how could it be his last year if he signed a contract extension last year? How was that his last year? Do your research. Shut up.
So
that's what I'm talking about. So what are you talking about?
Wait. Does he not have an opt-out in that contract?
No, he doesn't. No. Tatum got drafted in 2017. What are you talking about?
How many years you have
until at least 2025. What are we talking about here?
Hold on.
Do your research.
That doesn't sound right.
That doesn't sound right. Go do your research.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Please go do your research and find out when he got his contract extension. How are you going to tell me? I live and breathe the team. What are you talking about? He just signed it.
Hold on, I'm looking up his contract.
Go ahead, look it up with the slow Wi-Fi.
I see that vein right there.
Look it up.
I see that vein.
Tell me.
Here we go, call. Greg, you gotta talk to us.
I'm listening. Oh, okay. 5 year. Wait, the beginning. Okay. Play out his fourth rookie. Okay, he signed next. You was right, Carl.
So when's the last year of the contract? 2025?
I think so, because he just signed a 5-year deal.
I know my team. How you gonna tell me? How?
I thought there was an opt-out, bro.
No opt-out. No, we got him. We got him for a few years.
Look at that vein. Yo, that vein is pulsating, Carl.
I live and breathe the team. How? I watch preseason games. I study the team.
Okay. Wait. That's what it is. I knew I saw a player option somewhere. It's a player option for the 5th year. Okay.
But he's in the second year of the deal.
No. So what it says
that means 2024.
2024, 2025.
This was in 2020. He agreed to a 5-year extension with the Celtics, and I think it was on the 4th year of his rookie deal, right?
That's when
this year was the 4th year.
Yeah, he already signed the extension, so he's here until 2025. Like I said, I know how long we have them because I know my team. You can't sit here and try to tell me about.
Do you? Because you think they're good.
They're decent. Yes, give us a chance. We got a new coach. We have some young. I watch the team. Trust me.
What do you want to think your team is good too, no matter how crappy they are?
Last year, we got hit hard with COVID. And I'm telling you, this year's a new year. We got a new coach. Brad Stevens is not coaching. So young prospects, man. I'm telling you, man. Watch the Celtics play. Stop hating. Open your eyes and watch the team.
I'll put a buck down that the Knicks beat the Celtics overall this season.
Record-wise and have a higher seed?
Against each other. Record-wise against each other.
No, how about a higher seed? Put your money where your mouth is. Higher seed. I'll buy you your favorite. Listen, I'll buy you your favorite bottle. I'll buy you your favorite bottle. I'll buy you your favorite bottle. I'll put a favorite bottle. We have a higher seed.
Done.
Wow.
Right.
You saw it.
Fans on spicy today.
It's true.
The Knicks will have a higher record and a higher seeding than the Celtics.
Listen, I know Kemba Walker's knees, all right? They failed on me. They're going to fail on you too. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Hold on. Before I go, I just got to say, Ray Nall is on bath salts. He said Bulls greater than the Nets.
Get out of here.
Yo, what's going on in Jacksonville? K2 hitting?
I think he called something out there in the stadium. He's going to Jaguars.
Listen, Eddie's talking in the comments. He don't even know if he's rooting for LeBron or the Nets this year. The LeBron's too old, and Kyrie's not playing for the Nets. So you pick a team. Shut up.
We did ask
people gotta stop. People gotta stop. NBA season. People gotta stop coming for me. NBA season's about to start. Stop coming for me.
Can y'all listen to me speak on my NBA?
Manny, let's go. Carl, I'm gonna turn your mic off in a second. Go ahead.
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward I mean, despite Kyrie and all this stuff going on, I'm looking forward to Tuesday night because it's the Nets versus the Bucks, and the Bucks get their championship ring. Now, I want the Nets to picture every single thing and do what Stephon Diggs did last year in the AFC Championship while watching, after the game was over, the Chiefs celebrate. Now, I want the Nets to look at that and be like, okay, I want them to destroy the Bucks by at least 40 opening night. I would say 50, but I want that to happen. Honestly.
I just want you to know, Manny, in the grand scheme of things, that means absolutely nothing.
No, I know.
Game
but
one of the season. I will say, I know we're running over
more
time,
focused
but
on
I
the
will
playoffs.
say, Rob, the one thing I will say is that, and Coach Womack said it too, is this is the first time we're actually sleeping on the defending champ, right? We're not giving the Bucks as much credit as they should be getting because of the injury-prone season. Listen, they won the championship. Giannis playing his best basketball.
They did. They won. I witnessed it.
They're contenders, and they're up there in the Eastern Conference.
And Giannis is gonna come into the year as an MVP candidate again. So they
still get smoked in the first or second round, depending if he plays the next one.
Listen, I think the Bucks won. They did well. They won the championship, but I think if by a toe, no pun intended, if KD's toe is back a little more.
Yeah, well, we don't do my ifs here in the hipless streets, right?
Burn the shirt.
Yes, we do.
Burn it.
Yes, we do.
Burn it.
It's everywhere.
Listen, there's no ifs in the record books. No one's going to look back at Giannis' championship and say,
no, but they will. They will.
No, we're not going to do that.
They will because NBA fans are the worst. So yes, they will.
That's where I agree with you. It's true because every single year there's an if. Right again, go back.
LeBron won because of Kyrie, but Jordan had Steve Kerr, and it didn't matter. Like it's always something.
And there's always Mike. I can literally list the last 10 championships. I really did this research. There's an excuse. There's an if for every single championship. Right? 2020 was the bubble. Was the Mickey Mouse championship? That doesn't count. 2019. Oh, Kevin Durant got hurt. That doesn't count. 2018, 2017 doesn't count because it's a super duper team. 2016, Draymond got suspended. It doesn't count. 2015, Kyrie and Kevin Love were hurt. It doesn't count. 2014, LeBron cramped up. It doesn't count.
You should have just called Mike Miller because it sounds like
every year we have to stop doing that. Giannis won. He's a champion. It doesn't go in the record books.
But I didn't say anything bad about it. He won. Congrats. I saw it.
No. You throwing shade.
Yeah,
I'm throwing shade. I'm throwing shade at the Bucks. I saw them beat my team in Game 7. Come on, let's be real.
Yo, Eddie got beef with you, Carl. I'm convinced.
I know he do because yesterday he tried to tell us that fight is because that was top 3 all time. Come on, man, do your boxing research. Stop it.
Fight. Oh yeah,
on,
I forgot about that.
Top 3 all time, man, and I'm still waiting for those notes too. You still doing
So I'm proposing this now. We might have to do something big where we have like a Smoke and Mirrors fan zone collab, we have, because this boxing thing seems hot, and I know we have a boxing market we haven't tapped into about these top 5 heavyweight fights. Because
Mount Rushmore?
Just top 3.
It was 3. It was
top 3 heavyweight fights. So maybe this is something. Fans, let us know in the comments if this is something y'all want. A collab episode where we talk about the top 3 heavyweight boxing fights of all time.
Potential
let's do it on one of your special episodes.
You didn't even talk
do it on like top 50.
You didn't even talk about Joe Louis, the greatest boxer ever lived. He batted Sugar Ray. He batted Cassius Clay. Who that new boy? Mike Tyson. He batted we didn't even talk about Joe Louis.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
We didn't talk about Rocky Marciano.
Yo,
he turned Southern. He was like,
that's Carl reciting a line from his favorite movie of all time.
You didn't even talk about that. You didn't talk about Rocky Marciano.
Carl, just tell Eddie no mas. Just tell Eddie no mas.
Get out of here. We have to do our research, man.
Manny's sipping water because he's saying Eddie thirsty.
So
Manny, research.
Manny, before we leave, I want you to share with everyone what your
no, that's not Google. It's called being a sports historian and watching and understanding and studying boxing and looking.
Hold on, save your barbs. Save your barbs for the.
Hey, you got your show tomorrow. Stop it.
Here, man. No, I do. 4 o'clock. I'm sorry.
Manny,
once you give me the mic, I'm back. It's hard to get me off.
My hands of the week goes to John Gruden, goes to the NFL, and once again,
hands? You got that many hands?
Yeah, my man. It's not just me only. I got some connects. I don't get my hands dirty. Just remember that. But and Angel Hernandez once again, and plus that umpire, I believe that I forgot his name yesterday, who was just atrocious. And Shout out to the Tampa Bay Rays for holding that L last night.
Yo, you petty.
I'm
You
think I'm
so
a guy?
petty.
What happened to the Stables? You know, the Stables throwing over 90 miles per hour and stuff. What's the Andre saying? Rest in piss. Aren't you from Florida, fan?
Don't repeat him. Don't repeat that nonsense.
Yeah. No. Thank you for bringing that up. Andres, you deserve hands of the week for the BS you've been spewing for the past couple weeks and talking about, it's sarcasm.
I was waiting for it last
sarcasm.
week. You were supposed to get it last week.
I had to save it now because we have our guest here. They actually witnessed the BS that he was spewing. And his favorite quote, rest in piss. Well, guess what? When the Nets play the Heat, they're going to be resting in piss. Huevo.
I like it. He said, Mama huevos. Yeah, I like it. Listen, with that being said, I'm going to give you my hands of the week. My hands of the week are actually to the Washington football team for allowing that many emails to go back and forth with, at that time, an ESPN analyst or a football analyst. Really wasn't a part of the organization, but having that go back and forth, having someone allow someone to speak the way that they spoke with John Gruden, with this shit he was spewing, garbage, absolute garbage. I don't care who you are as a coach. I don't care who you are in the football world, the sports world. No man should ever talk to anybody the way he was speaking about different communities. I give a shout out to the LGBTQ community for still standing strong. More players should stand up for their right to feel how they want to feel. Shout out to the Black Lives Matter movement. It is not a movement, it's a livelihood. And it should continue to be a livelihood as we continue to erase social injustice in this world. There are still people like John Gruden that are living amongst us. And because of them, there's always going to be legacies tarnished. Because of them, there's always going to be marginalized individuals, marginalized communities, and it needs to stop. We are all one. And at the end of the day, we all pay taxes. At the end of the day, we all still go to grocery stores. And at the end of the day,
heavy on the taxes.
New York City and state tax kill, man.
But at the end of the day, we're all human beings that have the right, because of the Declaration of Independence, to live our life the way we want to live it. So for you to marginalize on a person and a team taking a chance on a Michael Sam, to marginalize females who want to be cheerleaders for a national football team and just making them a piece of meat, shame on you. And you, John Gruden, should rest in piss. We are the Fan Zone. I am Mike Phillips with my co-host, Manny Schefter. We have our contributors here today, Carl Coulange, Greg Polius of Smoke and Mirrors. Check out Carl Coulange tomorrow on the Sports Hit List Live at 4 p.m. Make sure you check out Smoke and Mirrors, one of my favorite shows, and on Mondays and Fridays, 7 o'clock on Mondays, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock on Fridays?
4:30 on Fridays.
4:30 on Fridays. We have content for you because we are fans creating for the fans. Thank you very much. Have a good night, and let's go.
Let's go Celtics, baby.
Hockey.
Championship.
Get him off the air. Somebody
coming,
turn
baby.
his mic off.
Number 18 is coming.
I'm pulling up to Elmont.
There you go. Look, I muted him.
Now how you feel? How do you feel about that, Carl?
And now